Afternoon guys, welcome to Up the Reds. Thanks for joining. If you like my videos, like, share, subscribe. Today's video is a look at the managerial candidates for the Barnsley job that we seem to talk about on a daily basis on social media and things like that. We still have no official replacement for Daniel Stendel. We still have Adam Murray in charge on a caretaker basis. He was doing a good job, gotta say, doing a good job, Adam. So keep it up. But if we're looking at somebody more permanent, the bookies seem to have a list of 5 or 6 names, which I've taken a bit of a gap from the rest. So there must be more likely to come. So I thought I'd just have a quick look at those guys and give a brief summary of what they're about. So starting on the last slot is Payo Asbaji, who is the IFK Gothenburg manager, an Iranian. Last season guided Gothenburg to a 10th place finish. This season they're flirting with the Europa League spots. They got a very big win last weekend, 7-1 I think it was. If you look at the statistics for him, his win ratio is okay. He plays attacking style football, 4-3-3 like a lot of managers do these days. But if you read the forums and things like that, he plays attractive football, but defensively quite naive. Not something we need at the moment, since we're already defensively naive. So I personally wouldn't go with this guy. I think in social media as well, last couple of days, he's distanced himself from the job. I think that's a politically nice thing for him to say. I think probably the club have distanced themselves from him. He'll have been one of the candidates, and he'll maybe has been interviewed in some way, but I don't think that is what we need right now. So he has drifted in the odds a little bit in the last few days, and he's a bit of an outsider on this list. So I wouldn't say he will get the job. Next up is American Steve Cherundolo, who stayed on the list all the way through this process, which I think is only based on the fact that he's a friend of the Billy Bean consortium. He's got a lot of friends in that consortium, and apparently he knows Dave Murphy and Paul Conway. He's not got much pedigree in senior football. Has not had a job for a bit. Apparently he played in the English league when he was younger, but I don't remember him. But I think he's only still in the betting because of the links to the consortium only. He's never gone up, he's never gone down, he's just kind of stayed there. So I personally wouldn't go with him. He's got no experience of the league in managerial terms, and I think when he did play over here it wasn't very long. So personally, it don't tick any boxes for me. So next on the list is our good old friend Paul Heckingbottom. Wow. Obviously we were going to get linked with Paul. Sacked from Hibernian last week. The bookies were always going to put 2 and 2 together on this one and come up with about 50, because he still lives local and he's out of a job and we need a manager, etc. But the fans aren't going to take to him coming back. He left under contentious circumstances, to say the least. I'm sure we all remember he took over from Lee Johnson when Lee Johnson got us going, and the momentum from what Johnson did was carried on by Heckingbottom, and fair play, he carried it on, but he didn't have to do too much, if you know what I mean. His coaching skills, or not his coaching skills, but his tactical skills and his management skills weren't particularly tested, because we basically played the same 11 for most of the back end of that season. So, and he was lucky that he dropped on Horahan becoming the player that we hoped he would be, and Winnell smashing goals in left, right and centre, and everything just clicked for him. Whether that was to do with him or not, I'm not 100% convinced. I think he just carried it on. So, and obviously he left in contentious circumstances when the January after he lost a few players. We lost momentum, we didn't get a win for a long time, and he left to our lovely rivals down the road, but probably left before he was pushed, in my opinion. It was on borrowed time, and I think he'd only had the job as long as he had because because of what had happened the season before with the double trophy winning season. So, but the fans don't want him, so we don't need any more board fan unrest, like I said in my last video, and I just think that would incite people even more, and I personally wouldn't go down that road myself. So the next one on the list is a name that's cropped up in the last few days, which is Jens Keller, a German, 48 years old, last managed FC Ingolstadt in Germany, and he's also managed at Schalke, and he had a decent pedigree as a player back in the day. Again, you look at his style, he's a 4-3-3er with attacking. He sounds very much like Stendhal in a lot of ways. He lost his job, from what I've read, mainly due to upstairs upheaval and change of thoughts from the powers that be. So he is well respected in Germany. I've never heard of him, I'll be honest, but I've never heard of Stendhal either, and he was also well respected in Germany. So apparently he was interviewed on Friday before the Bristol game and was in attendance on that game. So to bring him over must be something in that. So I think he was only 4-1 yesterday, but he is out to 7s today. Definitely somebody, if you want a sneaky fiver, I think he ticks the boxes, this one. I know he don't know the league, but from what I gather, he's a much more what's the word I'm looking for, organised and hard-working and defensively more sound coach than the others on the list so far. So keep an eye on that one. We'll keep looking, don't we, on social media. So the next one on the list is Jan Sievert. He's stayed on the list all the time during this process, from the ex-Huddersfield manager. Before he came to Huddersfield, he had pretty good pedigree back in Germany in youth levels and reserve team levels. But he's not somebody I'd want. I mean, I know he got his hands tied behind his back with Huddersfield taking over that job, but one win in 15. No, not for me. Not for me. We need a winner. We need somebody who can get this team organised and galvanise the team, and I don't think he's that man personally. Tough to say. You know, you get your hands tied like that. You could say that Stendhal had his hands tied this season, and we all love Stendhal. So, but I just think we need somebody who's going to come in with a more positive mentality. And you know, he must be a bit down after winning 1 in 15 with Huddersfield, wasn't he? And whatever he did this season, which was not a lot. So, not for me either. But we move on. 2 left. Next one is former Barnsley legend Neil Redfern. Neil's been linked with the job many times, never took it. He's just left his job with the Newcastle under-23s. He's always going to get linked back here. He's my favourite ever Barnsley player. He's banging my era. He really was a legend. I wonder if he wouldn't want to taint that legacy by taking this job right now. He's a great bloke, he really is, and is absolutely. He would certainly galvanise the fans, and he's an inspirational bloke. From you know, I'm sure most of us have seen Daydream Believers. What we achieved in the 90s. I mean, he came to us when we were nothing, basically, under Mel Machin, going absolutely nowhere, and single-handedly dragged us up to playoff, championship, and then Premier League quality. I don't think he'd want to taint his legacy. I'd love him to come in and it work. I'd absolutely love him to come in and it work brilliant, but I just can't see it. He is 3-1 though. and he has been in the betting all the time, even though he's been in a job, but he's come right into threes. Personally, I think he might come here as a coach. He could come here as a number 2. Let's say, for example, if Jens Keller comes and he wants somebody with a better English knowledge, then Redfern might be the man to sit in the dugout with him. That could work. But I just think, tainting legacies. This is another one. Like people said Bobby Hassel, but Bobby Hassel's got a legacy too, and I just worry about it. We think so fondly of guys like that, and then for him to come in and to a bottom of the table side, we've got a lot of problems, and I'm not sure he'd want it or if it'd be a good idea. But if it worked, it'd be great. And the favourite is the current caretaker boss, Adam Murray. Adam's done great, I think. He ticks it from what needed to happen with the team. He's ticked every box. I said we needed to go 3 at back. We went 3 at back. I said we needed to get Cavari back in the side, and he got Cavari back in the side. All right, albeit he fell asleep for a corner last week, but he's been all right. I also said we should be playing Simoes from the bench, and he's done that. And I also said we should get rid of Barr and Tiam, and he's done that. We're playing good football. We're trying hard. The players want to play for him. Personally, I just wish the talking had stopped and they gave him a year. Give him this window. You bring somebody else in who don't know the players, and you're back in square one. And I think we're further on than square one. We're unlucky in the positions that we're in. We shouldn't be where we are. We should be at least 10 points better off. For me, cut the errors. You can't coach the errors that we're making. Some of them. Like when Mads Anderson just left the ball for Collins, and Chris Martin slipped in against Derby. You can't coach that. It's just a mess up. That's just, and if we stuck with the players that we stuck with, it's something that they have to get through. So I think, for me, Murray should get this job, and he should be given a year and 2 windows, and just see what he can do. And even if we get relegated to League One, I think that he will definitely give it a good crack at getting back up. So for me, I would go in Murray anyway. So we'll see what happens the next few days. We keep checking and keep talking, but all's quiet at Oakwell and the manager's situation. So I'll see you on Sunday for a match review of Stoke, and I hope this video's brought some insight into who these people are, because I know some of the names aren't particularly familiar to a lot of us. So, and we'll see what happens in the next few days. So up the Reds, come on lads.